Hello gorgeous people, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new here then welcome. I hope you're all good. Guys, we have got a super old school Asha style YouTube video incoming where I'm just going to sit down, do my everyday makeup, answer your questions that you all asked me yesterday on Instagram, and I feel like I just haven't done a sit down makeup video like this in so long. This is my roots, this is how I started, so I'm bloody excited. Now if you haven't been living under a rock then you will know it is currently the whole Black Friday and Cyber Week going on, which I appreciate can be so overwhelming because there is discounts coming out of every hole possible right now. But for me, Black Friday, I see it as a good chance to get Christmas presents, but another thing I see it as a good chance for is to stock up on any products, makeup, beauty, hair, skin, whatever it is. If you can get that kind of thing discounted in a Black Friday sale and a code with extra discount, which is what I'm about to offer you, I just think it's the best time to stock up. So yeah, to take away the overwhelmingness of everything right now, like what you should or shouldn't be buying, what you should be investing your money into, I am here to bring you an everyday makeup look, which are my ride or die products that I have used forever, which you can get on LOOKFANTASTIC at the moment in their Black Friday event, and also with my code ASHALF, my usual code, which I know so many of you know off by heart. If you pop that in at the checkout, of course it will get you extra discount as well. So yeah, there's a huge Black Friday event going on LOOKFANTASTIC at the moment, which means things are so heavily discounted, and I just feel like let me chat to you about what I think is worth it, as well as answering some product questions as well. Show you what I use, because if there's anything here that you need a reminder to stock up on or anything that you actually want to try, now is a really good time to purchase it. Obviously it goes without saying, I work with LOOKFANTASTIC so closely. That brand is a part of me. Like, we've worked together now for so long. We've achieved some amazing things together, especially this year, and I'm so grateful that I get to work with them so closely. So this video is of course sponsored by LOOKFANTASTIC, because that is the place that I spend most of my money. I shop for all of my products on there because it's just the best one-stop shop, and honestly I probably use my own discount code more than anybody else uses it. So all of the products that I'm about to show you, I'm going to be showing you some products in action, obviously to create this everyday look, but also I'm going to be chatting about some of the products as well that I'm mentioning, questions that I answer. So there's going to be two lists down below, one of products that I'm using and another of products that I mention, which are all going to be linked to the LOOKFANTASTIC website where you can use my code on them. But yeah, screenshot my code or memorize it, everything's going to be linked down below. My code will be down there too. But anyway, my darlings, let's get into it. Cheers. Listen, I know it's very off-brand, it's very not best practice for me to not have a cup of tea when I'm sat down doing a makeup video, but I'm addicted to Kimade, I confess. So this is what today's drink of choice is. I know if you're watching this, I swear I won't break a nail. Stunning. Honestly, this stuff, it's what I need to get me through Cyber Week, let me tell you. Okie dokie, so I don't even know what I'm doing. My everyday makeup tends to like change like in and out, but I've just got all of my usual bits in front of me. I'm just gonna wing it. I just want to quickly mention, so this is going to be the first thing linked down below because I get asked about these brushes all the time. Obviously they're very aesthetically pleasing. They're the Makeup by Ariel X Morphe, and the full set is available to buy. So that is what I have, and they are an absolute dream, some of the best brushes I've ever used. So those are the brushes that you're going to see me using throughout this video. So my usual skincare and everything is already done, but I'm just going to do a bit of skin prep. I've got two of my absolute faves here. I've got the MAC Hyper Real Skin Canvas Balm, which I adore, but today I'm going to go in with the Bobbie Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. This is such a good product. They're both amazing products, very similar. The Hyper Real Skin Balm is a lot more lightweight, so for this time of year this is great because it's so packed with moisture for under your makeup during the drier months. If you've been here a while, if you've watched some of my makeup videos before, you will know that for me makeup primers are kind of a bit of an unnecessary product, and I feel like any product that is maybe a fine line between skincare and primer, like these two here, I can get on board with. But just like makeup primers, I just don't know, they're just not really my thing. But I've been obsessed with this for years because it's so good for your skin, packed full of vitamins, and makes your makeup last as long as it does. I feel like it actually adds something to your face rather than just putting a product on your skin and adding a layer that there's just no need, like most of the time with primers. This actually has its benefits. This stuff has such a unique smell, feel. If you are a stan of the Bobbie Brown face base, I've just ordered a new one because this one's actually on the verge of running out. If you're a stan of this product, then you will know what I mean. It is just one of a kind, a very standalone product. How are you doing genuinely? Guys, I'm good. I'm actually good. I'm not gonna lie. The past few months, whatever you say, have been a challenge mentally, personally. However, every other aspect of my life except for the whole relationship status, the whole relationship fuck up, is absolutely thriving. I'm doing good. I am now healed. I'm out the other side of it. Oh, this stuff feels so good. And yeah, I'm just in a really, really good place. Like, I'm okay. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I said, it has been hard. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm mentally a strong gal. I'm emotionally a strong gal. I navigate my emotions very, very well. So although they've been a challenge, and what I've been through since May has been something completely new for me, like the reason why the relationship ended and stuff like that, I've handled it well. I think I have. Like, I will pat myself on the back. But yeah, I'm really, really good. Podcast is going amazing. Like, we're doing really well with that. Like, my career is thriving, friendship's thriving, everything thriving except for the love life, and I'm feeling really good. I'm probably in the best place mentally that I've been in a long time, so that's great. The order of my makeup is so random because if I'm doing daytime vibes like we're doing now, like everyday makeup, I do all skin first, then come back to my eyes, then do my lips. If I'm doing like night out vibes, like glam makeup, I start with my eyes just to prevent any fallout going into the base product. But for skin today, I don't think I'm feeling a foundation, you know. I think I'm going to go with the Nars Tinted Moisturiser, which is just one of my favourite base products ever. My stuff is filthy. Just giving this a little wipe. If you haven't tried this, actually let me go back to a question. So somebody's wrote, what is the best foundation and blusher in your opinion? I thought I'd pick out that question right now because I have to say Nars is the absolute GOAT, the best in out there in my opinion for your foundation, your base products. Honestly, they are the GOAT. They smash it every single time. When this launched, I was so buzzing because it's a tinted moisturiser that actually does have the coverage of a medium buildable foundation, which is really rare. Not only that, this contains SPF 30. So the fact that obviously you apply your SPF every day anyway, even like all year round you have to, because you're still being exposed even though we're not in like hot weather, but you've just got the extra protection in like a base product. So good for holidays, guys. But yeah, we've got the likes of the Nars Light Reflecting Foundation, which looks like this, which is just my favourite foundation. This is what I wear sometimes in the day. It's super lightweight, super dewy, slightly buildable, but really, really light on the skin. But this is my night out foundation at the moment because I just love the way it makes you look so glowy. If you're more of like a medium to full coverage girly, the Nars Natural Radiant Longwear, again, one of my favourite ever foundations. Everything they do base wise, foundation wise, concealer wise, tinted moisturiser is just the best. Like, it's what they're known for. They have the best products in the market when it comes to foundation. So that answers that question. Anyway, let me pop this on. I use shade Santiago, which is medium deep one, but they've got a huge shade range across all of the Nars foundation products. And then the second part of that question was, of course, a favourite blusher. I just love Nars, do amazing blushes. You've got the likes of Orgasm, which is a very universal shade. You've got Chaos and you've got Taj Mahal, three of my favourites by Nars. But for me, blush wise at the moment, Doll Beauty are winning. I am so obsessed. I'm going to use one of them later on in the video so you'll get to see it in action. I'm so obsessed with their blushers because they just make incredible shades in them, and the product's a really, really nice product and it's so affordable. That's what I love about Doll. It's so super affordable for everybody, and when they started stocking it on LOOKFANTASTIC, I was buzzing. This tinted moisturiser, you'll see now, the coverage is really, really nice, but it's so lightweight on the skin. You've got your SPF 30 in it, like I said. It kind of covers really similar to the Maybelline Superstay 24 Hour Skin Tint, if anybody's used that, one of my favourite products at the moment as well. But yeah, this has got a really similar coverage, but I just feel like this is a lot longer lasting than that. It doesn't soak into the skin too quick. It's got a really nice light reflecting element to it, as you can see, and it's really dewy. You can matte it down with some powder, which I will do in a bit. Okay, next question. Are you dating / seeing someone? I am not. None of that is going on. I am as single as I think anyone has ever been single. Like, that is me, and I'm talking no one in my phone, like nothing. And it's fine. It's actually okay. I'm in a good place right now. Not that I don't need that, that's the wrong thing to say. Let me just tell you what concealer I'm using. This is the Nars Radiant Cream Concealer. I forgot how much I love this, and I recently picked it up again on LOOKFANTASTIC, and for this time of year, this is the concealer a Nars, again, a base product, like the best, like I said. But what's good about this concealer is where it's medium to full coverage, you're getting the full coverage for like under eye bags, under eye brightening, but it's also super, super creamy, right? So at this time of year, our under eyes tend to crease a lot more than they do like throughout the summer, because we're not getting any added moisture into our skin just throughout the day from like heat and stuff like that. So this concealer is so, so good for this time of year because it doesn't sit in any under eye lines that may happen due to like crispy weather, crispy skin. Unfortunately, guys, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, literally, pardon the pun. But yeah, this concealer is just one of the best, like the best of the best. I also love this, the Maybelline Eraser Concealer, but that's super full coverage, and obviously where I've done a tinted moisturiser, I feel like this is just the best thing to pair it with. So I kind of go right in the inners here and a little bit there just to sort of lift the eye and obviously brighten as well. Let me just wet my beauty blender. I just take a smallish beauty blender for under the eye. I'll come back to what I'm wetting my blender with afterwards because I'm going to use it as a little setting spray, so we'll talk about that product then. But am I dating anybody? The answer is no, I'm not dating anybody, I'm not talking to anybody, I'm not texting anybody, I'm not anything with anybody, which I don't know if that's normal at this time after a breakup. Like, I've been single now for 6 months, right? And I feel like maybe soon I should probably put myself out there a little bit. I did, if you've been listening to the podcast, you will know that I did download a couple of dating apps, and you know what, they're fun. But I just personally, for me, where human connection is so important to me, I feel like that's probably not going to be how I meet somebody. Like, I feel like it's just going to happen more in person for me, which is fine, absolutely fine. Oh, the way that blends out, the way that concealer blends out is honestly like no other concealer in the world. I'm obsessed. Every time I use it, I'm like, oh, I love you so much. But yeah, not dating, guys. It's not that I'm not ready. Like, I feel like I feel so, not that I'm so ready as in I'm actively looking, but like I'm so healed from that part of my life that it's nothing to do with the fact that I'm not like ready or not over it or not healed. Like, I am, but I just don't feel like I'm maybe not very good at putting myself out there. The problem is, right, where I actively looked for somebody at the time that I met my ex, I think because I just wanted the idea of being with somebody, I've now come to realise that that's probably why I settled for like things that I maybe shouldn't have. That is not the way to go. So that is absolutely not what I'm going to be doing now. So I'm at a position where I'm like, well, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So I'm just floating. At the moment, I'm just loving the Doll Beauty Gimme Sun in shade Dark, which looks like this. Just gonna grab my bronzer brush, and with my bronzer I like to do what I call like a dump and blend technique. So I don't like to spread the product too much initially, so let me just show you what I mean. So I kind of go like where my hair meets my ears, and I just kind of start here. I tend to place my bronzer a little bit higher up than naturally where my cheek would sink, because I just like things to be a little bit more lifted. So I'm just going to start here, and when I say dump and blend, I literally mean dump the product right there. So that's where the majority of the product is actually going to apply. Looks crazy, right? And then I'm just going to get any excess off on the palm of my hand, and then that's why I'm going to blend. So I've done my dumping, now I'm going to blend. Always go upwards because you want to lift the face. You don't want to be dragging down too much hair. Why are my tutorials always so educational? Like, why can't I just apply makeup without over explaining, just like a normal person? Blend, blend, blend. Okay, so next question. Somebody has said, how come you started a podcast with Megan and not alone, and how did you two meet? Okay, if you don't know how Megan and I met, that means you haven't listened to the podcast. Shame on you. Go and listen. There's a little teaser episode that actually went live the day before our first official episode, and that's just because we wanted to get that part out of the way of like how we met, why we decided to start the podcast and that kind of thing. But the reason why I decided to start a podcast with Megan and not on myself or anybody else, not on my own or anybody else, it was just the right fit. Like, a podcast has obviously been in the pipeline for me for a long time, like you guys know, because it's something that I've always wanted to do. I'm just going to run this brush, I keep pulling out all my baby hairs, I'm just going to run this brush down the side of my nose just with any excess. Like I said, no crazy contour on a daytime vibe. Yeah, a podcast has been in the pipeline for me for a while, and it was just the right fit. Megan and I went to Mykonos together, you know, talks were had, like we just casually mentioned it, and then Megan was like, yeah, I've always wanted to do one too. So it's just the right fit because we became really close. Megan literally got me through my breakup, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, she was such a huge support to me, and we've kind of like bonded in like this time of our lives to a point where we've got such good like rapport and an amazing friendship that is a really good space for us to be like on a podcast together. I mean, as much as it would have been, you know, okay for me to start one on my own, like I could talk to anyone about anything, whether I'm on my own or not, but I just feel like having a co-host just brings in more opinions, more advice, more outlooks. Like, we're very different people, you know, as much as we are similar, we're very different people in so many different aspects, and I just feel like it's a great dynamic to have a co-host for that reason. Okay, for blush, I'm going to go in with the Doll Beauty Costa Doll. So I spoke about blushes earlier, and Doll smashing it with their blushes. I love these so much. This colour is one of my favourite. It's just like a really neutrally pink, which I feel like suits me a lot better. I've also got here to hand Day. Let me show you this because it's got a reflex in it. It's like quite a corally pink. This is really similar actually to Chaos by Nars, but it has like a gold reflex in it. It's more like a shimmery. So Doll Beauty do a lot of matte ones, and they do a lot of like the reflective ones, which are great if you don't want to pop a highlighter on top. I feel like they're summer vibes though, whereas I feel like the matte ones are a lot more like autumn winter. So even though we're going quite pinky, it is still a matted down version of their blush. I'm just going to pick up a bit on a brush, and again just take it a bit higher than where naturally my cheekbone would sit, just so it lifts the face. And I just kind of brush from like here upwards. I don't go too much on the apple of my cheeks because I feel like I've got quite a round head, and that only makes it look a lot rounder. I really like to be quite precise with my blush application, so rather than like big circular motions like I do with a bronzer, I kind of like pat and then go in with smaller motion. Okay, name one makeup product and one skincare product you couldn't live without, and why. Okay, makeup, we could be here forever. One product of each of those is impossible for me. But makeup, I'm going to say the Illamsqua OMG Liquid Highlighter. I'll explain why about that when I use it after I finish with the blush. But as for skincare, oh God, guys, that's a hard one. I'm going to say the Ren AHA Daily Glow Tonic, really similar to the Pixie Glow Tonic, so either of those. But the Ren, I just feel like has a deeper impact on like the quality of your skin. One of my favourite things to use post cleanse. I'm just obsessed with that at the moment. It's a super brightening product, right? So if you feel like your skin goes dull at this time of year, get the Ren AHA Tonic, because I promise you it will brighten your skin from within and give you a glow like nothing else gives you pre-moisturiser. So with my blush, I like to just a little bit over my lips. A bit weird, I know, I don't know why I do it, but I've always done it, so I just still do it. A bit just across the bridge of my nose, just for like a little bit of a flushed look. Okay, so before I go in with the product I just mentioned, which I'll come back to why I love it so much, I'm going to take Laura Mercier powder. I don't know what powder I want to use. Do I want to use the original translucent or the rose? I love the rose Laura Mercier powder because it has a slight pinky tint to it. I don't know if you can see that. Again, it's super translucent, but it's just more on the pinky side, whereas the original, you all know what this looks like. Oh, it's got the, oh, this is brand new. Treat yourself, Mary. You all just know the original is like the, it's kind of like a yellowy tone. I think I might actually go for the original. Considering I've used Custard under the eyes, as in the shade, not actual custard, I think I'll go for the yellowy tone today. What have I dropped on me? Guys, we've got a code red. That's foundation on my favourite grey vest top. And then I'm going to take my triangle powder puff. I'm just going to dip the very corner like this, kind of fold it around my index finger into the powder, pick up a little bit. I like to set, I guess it's not really baking, but it's just like quite a heavy set on the under eye. So I just press it. I'm an oily gal, as you all know. Just kind of press it into the skin, and then I just blend it downwards. Oh, guys, the seamlessness that this gives. And then I'll just take a little bit, not as much, and just press it onto any areas that I go oily throughout the day, which for me is my chin and also my T-zone. So this whole like V section here. The one makeup product I couldn't live without, coming back to that, is this bad boy, the Illamsqua OMG Liquid Highlighter. I bang on about this because I have never not used it. When I qualified as a makeup artist in, I think it was 2016, well, a long time ago. This is one of the first products I bought. They have got a famous highlighter, Illamsqua do, which is OMG, and it's a powder form. Then they launched the liquid form, and it's probably one of the first like liquid highlighter like products to come out on the market. They're such a good leading makeup brand, by the way, for like artists, just incredible. So with this, let me tell you why I love it so much. It sits on the skin so nicely. It hasn't got that glittery feel that a lot of highlighters do. It's just a glowy, glossy kind of feel to it. So it's not like a sparkly highlighter. It's more like picking up the light naturally kind of vibe. Another reason why I love this so much is if you ever see me with glowing shoulders, glowing collarbones, glowing shins, this is what is on my skin. This is not just for the face. I apply my body moisturiser, then I take a tiny little blending brush, pick up some of this and pop it on my shins, knees, thighs, collarbone, shoulders. Like, get asked a lot about like my body care and how like my skin is so glowy. If I'm out, this becomes a part of my outfit on my body. It is insane. But for my face, I don't use a brush. I just pick it up on the back of my hand, rub it in, just get the consistency right on your finger. You don't want to go straight in because you're just going to make a bit of a mess. You want to make sure it's evenly applied to your middle finger. And then I just bounce it in the areas. You don't want to be rubbing it in too much because it's a liquid product. It can sometimes counteract with what you've already put on. So you don't want it to start rubbing off any of your foundation or your blush or your powders. So you just want to bounce it on top of the skin. It sits so well, this product. And then I like to do right here in, is that the bridge of your nose? I don't really know if it is. I like to do right here anyway, basically just below, like between your brows. And you can just kind of apply it with the finger you've got the product on and then warm it up into the skin with a plain finger. Honestly, if you've had a rhinoplasty and you put highlighter on your nose, you can relate to how weird it feels if you also don't have any nerve endings, because I can't even feel myself touching my nose right now. Yeah, cute. Happy with how that looks. And then I'm just going to take the bulk, the rest of the product, work it into my hand and then bounce it off my cheek just ever so slightly. I don't like a crazy highlight look, but I just like it to be where like the light would naturally pick up. So yeah, that is my one makeup product that I couldn't live without. Skincare, Ren AHA Tonic. I can't even pick a moisturiser, I love so many. But as for makeup, this should be in everyone's makeup bag. Like, trust me, it really should be. Okay, now that my base is pretty much done, I'm just going to move on to the eyes for a hot minute. So I'm going to take the Doll Beauty bronzer. I don't really wear any shadow generally, but especially not in the day, but just for the sake of my eyes looking a bit more awake, I'm just going to deepen my crease a bit with the Doll Beauty Gimme Sun in Shade Dark, the same that I used on my face. So just taking a small-ish fluffy brush, picking up a tiny bit of product, and I literally just work it into the crease really messily. Okay, another question. Would you ever be fully open about your breakup, why it happened, etc.? And would you ever give any breakup advice? Okay, let me start with the breakup advice thing. We're going to have a podcast episode coming probably after Christmas now, because we have planned what we're going to be talking about up until that point. So it'll probably be in the new year, which will probably be a good time for a breakup advice episode. So yeah, that whole breakup advice thing, I've got a lot, not just from this breakup, but from previous breakups. I've learned a lot. This is not my first rodeo, so I feel like I've got a lot of advice to give, as has Megan, so has Megan. So yeah, breakup advice, that'll be coming to the pod very soon, because it's just like the kind of space where we talk about something like that. So I've got lots to give, I've got lots to offer you guys, so I'll let you know in the new year when that is live. As for talking about the breakup, how do I say this? I kind of already said it, but this breakup is totally different to any breakup that I've been through ever before. How much I didn't expect it, maybe. Probably the cutthroatness of it, and then also something that I found out since. It's being very cryptic, I don't really know what to say, but it's something emotionally that I've never had to experience. Like, no one's ever put me through something similar, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So I guess talking about the specifics and stuff like that, do you know what? Nah, I'm not gonna do that, because in the best way possible, want to erase that time of my life from my memory permanently. That would be nice. That chapter is closed, and I feel like talking about the ins and outs would just be revisiting it at a point in my life where I'm actually completely healed from it. So talking about the specifics is very difficult. I have touched on it a little bit on the podcast over the last couple of episodes. If anybody's listened, probably like the first proper episode, I think mainly. But yeah, you can kind of find out a little bit in there. But as for talking about the ins and outs, you know, I don't want to pay it any mind. I don't want to pay it any energy. And I feel like I just want to forget about it. So I guess that's that. But breakup advice, definitely, that's definitely something I've got to offer. But yeah, guys, it wasn't nice and I don't deserve to go through what I went through, and that's all that I'm really willing to say. And I'm going to move on from it, live a happy life, be the best version of me that I can be, and hopefully meet somebody that actually aligns with me and my values, you know, stuff like that. That would be nice. Okay, so for eyeliner, again, nothing crazy, but I do have round eyes, so I'd just like to add a little tiny flick, a little tiny wing in brown. I love the Kat Von D tattoo liner in brown, but it is quite a cool brown. When they started stocking this on Look Fantastic, I was buzzing. One of my favourite makeup brands. That's quite a cool brown. But this one, which is the Eyeko Black Magic liner, but the Coca edit, this is a super warm brown, which I just feel like complements my eyes a lot more. So like I said, just do a tiny little flick. I've got eyelash glue on my eyelashes from not last night, the night before, which honestly, no matter how much I scrub, it's just not budging. So I'm gonna need to have a proper soak of those this evening with some oil or something. So when I say like a tiny flick just to lift the eye, that's literally all I mean. Nothing crazy. This is just such a nice warm brown colour for every single day. What's next? The best moisturisers for nourishing the skin at this time of year. Oh, skincare I could talk about for hours and hours. It's really difficult just to cram it in, but if we're going to talk moisturisers, you've got, for this time of year, for hydration, you need to be looking at your likes of your Weleda Skin Food. So there's the original, which is super rich product, but there's also the light version, which if you're naturally oily like me or don't like it to feel too cloggy on your skin, the light is still one of the best hydrating moisturisers you can get. Also got the It Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream, super hydrating, super creamy moisturiser. And then I would say the Drunk Elephant Peptide Moisturiser, which is in like a teal and white tub, and it's got like the squeezy top where the moisturiser comes out. That is so good for this time of year because it's really long lasting. So for mascara, I'm going to use the YSL. I love this mascara so much. This is their, I don't even know what it's called, Lash Clash mascara, and this is in their brown colour. Look how bloody gorgeous this is. Keeping in with the brown theme, it's very autumnal. I just love brown products on like blue, on all eyes to be honest, but blue eyes, it does look really good on blue eyes. But unless I'm wearing a lash, I don't just wear a black mascara, I always wear a dark brown, but this one's a really nice warm brown. Again, it's something that you struggle to find like a warm brown tone in. They tend to dry down to be quite cool, which almost just look like black anyway, but not this one. This one's so nice. The only thing I would say about this is, as much as I love the product itself, the brush is so thick. Okay, next question. Are you worried about your age / not meeting anyone / not being settled down yet? So I think I mentioned this before, but like so many, well, pretty much the majority of my friends are in relationships, settled down, some are engaged, some are even married, some have children. And you know what? It's all right, because that's just the age that I'm at. Like, I'm nearly 30 in a couple of months, and of course people are going to be settled down at this age, right? Am I worried about not settling down, the fact that I haven't met anybody, etc. already at this age, or the fact that I thought I had, rather, because I thought I was going to marry that person, right? Sometimes people turn out to be not the person that you thought they were. And you know what? The older I get, the more I realise these things are just experiences, and we shouldn't worry. I am kind of between, you know, I'm not going to act like it's all plain sailing, because I am kind of between a rock and a hard place with this. Just getting this spoolie, like I said, just to comb out any clumpiness, because like I said, the brush is quite thick on that mascara, as amazing as the product is. But yeah, I am kind of between a rock and a hard place with this whole question, this whole situation, because sometimes, just on the odd occasion, I do have like that slight panic of, fuck. Like, as much as we try not to put age stamps on things, like normally, as far as statistics go, you would have found somebody by now, potentially even be engaged, married, have one child, like whatever it is. But also there's a lot of people nowadays who don't have that yet at my age. I do kind of get stuck between exactly that, because some days I wake up and I'm like, fuck, like where am I actually going to meet someone? You know, I've found someone on my doorstep before, didn't work out. I found someone from fucking miles away before, it hasn't worked out. Like, I don't know where or when I'm going to find that person, and that bit does panic me ever so slightly. I don't think panic's the right word. I am a bit of a natural born warrior anyway. My mum always says that about me. I'm trying to be like a lot more zen, a lot more mellow, a lot more just trusting that the universe has its path for me as I get older. But do I worry? Yes, I do, because I've decided that actually I think I would quite like to be a mum someday, and I think I would quite like to have a child someday. And am I running out of time for that? Like, is it now going to be something where an option of that is taken away from me because, you know, what if I don't meet somebody until I'm 35, which is quite likely, you know, that could happen. I could meet somebody next week, I could meet somebody in 5 years. I just don't know when or how that's going to happen, and I think that's the scary element, because I was so adamant for so long, especially in my last relationship, that I didn't want to have kids, I didn't want to do this, but then I very quickly realised that I think it's because of the person you're with. Like in my last relationship, if I'd had a baby, I'd have basically been a single mum. I was alone a lot in that relationship, and now I'm like, oh well, you know, if I found someone like they could show up for me and they could show up for like another human being and be there for me, maybe I would quite like to be a mum. I feel like I'd be quite a good one actually. But yeah, I don't know, it's just things like that that worry me, because now I do feel like a bit of a ticking time bomb. But it's, you know what, it is what it is. Everything now in my life, I take it as it comes. Everything to me is an it is what it is situation, and you know, I'm okay if it happens, I'm okay if it doesn't. I'm in a really good position like that emotionally and mentally. Like I said, I'm not going to desperately go out and seek anybody like I have done in the past, because it really doesn't get me anywhere, clearly. It is what it is, like I just said. I don't really know how else to describe how I feel about that, really. It's just a waiting game, and you know, I'm here, there and everywhere. My life is incredibly busy and I don't really have the time to be actively looking right now, so hopefully I just meet somebody, be it in Manchester one day, be it in London, be it on public transport, be it in a supermarket. Like hopefully one day somebody who is right for me will just cross my path. Somebody has asked, guys, this is great, somebody has asked, what would you recommend that is similar to the Stila Watercooler lip gloss? You've been here forever. Whoever you are, you please comment down below. You have watched my videos for a long time. That is an OG makeup product of mine, which is now, if not discontinued, really hard to get hold of. But don't worry, I've got a great alternative for you. So there's a product called Makeup Revolution. Makeup Revolution brought out a dupe of the Fenty Gloss Bombs, which are, I think, called Gloss Bombs, maybe, the Makeup Revolution ones. But they also brought out Makeup Revolution Shimmer Bombs, and they are really similar to the Stila lip toppers. So the shade Watercooler, they do one in the Makeup Revolution on Look Fantastic. I think they're about £4 at the minute, like £4.50, so cheap. And I think I've got all of them upstairs somewhere, but I think it's the shade Glimmer that's really similar to like the Watercooler, like melony colour that Stila offers. But yeah, fraction of the price. I can never get hold of the Stila one either, but honestly it's made my day that you know that that's one of my OG favourite makeup products from like my old makeup videos. Okay, lip colour. So we are going to go, this has been a very Doll Beauty heavy makeup tutorial, but I'm just obsessed with their product at the moment. So this is their lip liner in shade Diva Forever. I love Diva Forever from them. I love Boy Bye, very true like nudie brown colour, great for like just overlining your lips slightly so it looks like your lip colour. But lip liners in my everyday makeup change every single day. I have so many lip liners. I love the Morphe ones, I love shade Bite Me, which is more pinky, I love Sweet Tea, which is more like a brownie colour. But I absolutely love the Doll Beauty ones. They're super creamy, super long lasting, really affordable. Diva Forever is actually quite a dark brownie colour. But yeah, at the moment I just like to apply like a darker lip liner and then smudge it out with my finger before I go in with any lip gloss or whatever. I don't know why, I'm just loving a darker tone. Why am I talking while I do this? I'm making it incredibly difficult for myself. We want it to be nice and smudged out. I'm going to take my lipstick, and I've not used this lipstick in forever, and then I recently got it in PR and I forgot how much I bloody loved it. So many of you are going to be able to relate to this. I bet you can even guess what shade it is when I wind it up. This is of course MAC Velvet Teddy. What an absolute blast from the past. I forgot how much I loved this for like a really mid like nudie pink. Anyway, for daytime, what I do with my lipstick is I go two swipes, go back in with the very little finger that just smudged out the lip liner and really work it into the crevices of your lips, if you like, the card. That's going to make it really long lasting, and I don't like to feel like I've got a lot of lip product on in the day. Before I go in with a topper on my lips, let's do another question. What is it you're looking for in a future partner? I have come to realise that I need somebody who is, I'm a very selfless person. I do a lot for other people. I am not one of those people who naturally puts myself first, right? I do a lot for other people. I love that about me personally. I love how much I have to offer other people. I love how much I can be there for others. I love how much I'm willing to do for somebody when I love them, because offering that is like a love language to me. But with me being a very selfless person, in my last relationship, and we literally spoke about this at the time, my last partner, so I was like, if we're talking on the selfish spectrum, I was selfless, I was way over here. He was selfish, like he was way here. Like he was very used to thinking about himself and putting himself first. And you know that some people are just that way, but I've come to realise I'm just not going to work with somebody like that. I need somebody who is also quite selfless, quite a selfless person. I gel very well with people like that. I struggle to understand, which again, it's all okay, but I struggle to understand like selfish people, like I really do, because that's just not naturally how I am. And I feel like from my experience, I've come to gather that people who are quite selfish in the sense of the word, for whatever reason they are that way, tend to be not as emotionally intelligent when it comes to communication and stuff like that as maybe I would like. So I think for me, that's what I'm looking for, somebody with like extreme emotional intelligence, because that's something that I have, and just somebody who communicates well, is loyal. That would be nice. Someone who actually wants to spend time with me. I didn't have a lot of that in my last relationship either, admittedly. Like, you know, there was a lot of priorities before me, and that's fine. Like, you know, everybody has their own lives, but it would just be nice to go for a date night, like once every couple of weeks, go for a nice dinner, go on like a little date day. Like I love the outdoors, so somebody who's like super outdoorsy would be nice. Someone who just loves the little things in life, like will show up to family things and just like want to chill with me. Like that would be nice. God, I don't ask for a lot, do I? That was quite a long list, but yeah, I don't know. So I'm a gloss gal. I would never just leave my lips matte like this. Anybody else the same? So for gloss today, I'm going to use this Rimmel London one, but I just want to mention this gloss because this is what I wear all the time. It was in what was on my lips in Monday's vlog, which should have been Sunday's vlog, but I use this all the time. This is an iconic London gloss in shade Feeling It. I'm like halfway empty, so I should really order another one, but this is the gloss that whenever I wear it, people are like, what is that, what's on your lips? This is it. So I'll link that down below as well. But for daytime, I'm obsessed at the minute with these Rimmel London Thrill Seeker glassy glosses. They're super glossy, super light reflective, and this is shade Pine to the Apple, but all of the shades are so nice. They're all quite a pinky tone. There's one that's actually quite a reddy tone, but they're more like lip toppers, right? They're quite transparent, so they're more like a tint. So there's not really much colour payoff. I know that looks super pink in there right now, but there's not loads of colour payoff, so they just sit really nice on whatever lipstick it is that you're wearing that day. Okay, I'm just to set my makeup. This is what I wet my beauty blender with earlier. So this is the Caudalie, that was my shoulder that clicked. This is the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. Buy it is all I'm gonna say. Like honestly, buy it. I don't know what is in this bottle, but it is insane. But I use this as part of my skin routine, so I'll spray it at the end of my skincare. But I also wet my beauty blender with this, and I also set my makeup with it, so that's what I'm gonna do now. Yeah, this is great. You would have seen this being raved about recently, but I'm not gonna lie, I've used it for a long time, but it's only just very recently blown up. But that is it for my everyday makeup and a little catch up. Like I said, everything is going to be linked down below. I'll do two separate lists, one of things that I've used and one for products that I've mentioned, anything else that I mentioned amongst the questions and stuff, or any other recos that I spoke about. I'll make sure everything is linked down below where you can find it all on LOOKFANTASTIC. But yeah, I just thought it was a really good time to just show you what is actually in my daily makeup routine, because like I said, Black Friday can be so overwhelming. Sometimes it's just good to go off somebody's everyday recommendations whilst you can get them discounted. But anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I will see you all in next Sunday's vlog. Bye!